this all pretty timely. And it is straight up 4 o'clock, so let's get started. First of all, there's a lot of you who don't know me. So for the people who don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Diana Musgrave. I'm a regional director out of Boulder City, Nevada. I love this business because it allows me to work anywhere I want to work, and that has been something that I never experienced in my previous history. This is me doing a webinar from Lake Mead. Again, I want to have you guys get to know me a little bit. This is our house at Christmas. Now, the reason that I show you this is because my other half, Dale, is absolutely crazy. He puts 100,000 lights on our house at Christmas. But the reason that I show you this is because this business and residual income has given us the freedom to take the entire month of November to do crazy things like this. The reason I do this business is my mom. Again, residual income and working from home has allowed for me to take care of my mom. I could not have done that. I could not be doing that if it wasn't for ACN and what residual income can do for you. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to open up my screen and start doing a screen share so you guys can see my computer. Bear with me 1 second while I get this screen opened. And you're going to be able to see my screen. Again, I'm not going to be able to see any of you on your chat. Please hold your chats until later with questions, and let's get going. Okay, so the topic of my conversation today is how do we get the inside scoop on customers? How do we do things a little bit differently than what you guys are all used to doing? So I first want you to know that this is not a basic customer training. This is not a how-to customer training. This is a training that is a little more advanced, a little bit more specialized. We all understand that in ACN, compensation is only earned when customers are acquired. And that's really important that you understand that we are a customer acquisition company. Customer acquisition company with, great products and services. But because we have so many products and services, we do tend to sometimes get a little overwhelmed and get a little confused. So today, I am going to be giving you some of the nitty-gritty on some of the things you don't know. ACN has amazing training in our back office. They have training on every product that we have. So I want to encourage you to go to those trainings, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Your short-term goal in ACN is to get 15 points within 30 days. Your long-term goal is to get 60 customer points. I think that it's very doable, that everyone can get this done in a month or two. Just depends on how much time you want to give it and how determined you are to do it. We all know that if we want something bad enough, we can pretty much do anything. And I think that the key to customer acquisition is just wanting it bad enough. Our personal residual income is why we're all here. I have never worked a commission job where I had 10%. So the fact that ACN, in all of the freedom it gives us, also gives us the ability to earn 10% is pretty doggone powerful. As you see on this chart, we can earn between 1 and 10%. It's up to you. It all depends on how many customer points you have. As of July 14th, you will need 60 points to get 10%, and you will need 60 points to get paid to your 7th level. Now, I just want to mention a little bit about the importance of getting paid on your entire organization. Now, this slide represents a fully developed team, as you see in our hypothetical at our BOMs. finding two with an average bill of $38, $40. But look at where most of your income lies. Most of your income lies on level 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm sure that you didn't come into ACN to make $3, $7, $15. You came into ACN to be able to earn substantial residual income. Right now, it takes 40 points to get that done, but that 40 points is going to turn into 60 real soon. So let's just set our sights on 60 points. You know, when a team has great residual income, a lot of things happen. And I'm going to read a question that came over today from David Sternman out of Appleton, looks like Wisconsin. He said, I'm struggling to help my team get their outside customers. Can you offer me any tips on what we can do to help the new reps get their outside services? You know, David, that's a really common struggle. First of all, I believe in power hours. If you don't have a power hour in your area, create one. Invite people over to your home. Go to their home. Make it fun. Sit with them. Help them get it done. But I will tell you, when your team is earning high residual income, everything starts to go into autopilot. If you're earning a higher residual and then teaching your team to earn a higher residual, you're going to be better recruiters because you're going to have better stories. You're going to be better trainers because you've done more. And ultimately, at the end, you're going to be more successful. So the key of how do you get your team to do it, first of all, you have to do it. You have to set the standard. And along with that, you have to make it fun. Because if it's not fun, then why are we doing this? And we're going to talk a little bit about how to help us all make it fun. We all know that our customer sources are plain and simple. They're ourselves, our family, our friends, prospects who choose not to become IBOs, and those we do business with. It's very important that you all understand that, you know, we have to stay with our warm market. We cannot advertise for customers, but truly, once you've struck up a conversation with somebody, they are your warm market. ACN took a stand not too long ago, which we're all very excited about. It's about our core services, our preferred core services. Our core services mean these are products you're going to make the most money on. They're products you're going to get paid on for the life of the customer, with the exception of Vivint. And they're products that never leave. We call it purging. So today I'm going to spend a lot of time on our core products because this is where we all really need to hone in our skills and get good at it. So the first thing I want to talk about is ACN Digital Phone Service. This happens to be one of my favorite products because it's one of the easiest to get into the consumer's hands. But let's just back up a little bit and talk about the phone business. This is a $1.75 trillion business. There's still 118 million households that have home phones. So when someone says to you, nobody I know has a home phone, you know, you got to say, look, there's 118 million out there. We only need a couple. Let's go find them. 31 million of those are already digital phone service people. And at the beginning of 2014, there were 34 million. So you can see how it's growing. By 2015, 40% of all of the home phone business is going to be digital. And you guys can play a part in that because our digital phone happens to be the best out there. So let's talk a little bit about our digital phone service. Our digital phone service is $24.99 a month. It's very inexpensive to get into, $29 for the equipment, $10 for shipping, and after 6 months they get their money back. So it's not a hard product to get someone into. There's no credit check or anything like that that they have to be able to pass. The advantages of digital phone service is, first of all, the quality. Quality is just amazing, and it's a low-cost product. And they have some really cool online abilities to be able to go into an online portal and manage their calls. They can actually do wonderful things like setting up their calls to be delivered via email. They can set up their calls that if they miss their calls, it can be forwarded to another number. They also can set their calls up so that if the internet does go out, it immediately reverts to a disaster number, like to your cell phone. So digital phone service is so far advanced over local long distance that it's not that hard of a sell. And I don't even like to use the word sell because you're basically giving people such an advantage over what they have now. You know, the old landlines really haven't changed since they began 100 years ago. I don't know how many years ago it was, but they really haven't changed. Digital phone service gives them so many more abilities, but I want to ask you a question if you're on this webinar. If you're on this webinar, do you have one? Do you have an ATA adapter? Because if you don't, how can you tell people how great it is? What I love is I think I have 4 of them now. I have them on loan all the time. I loan them out all the time. I just loaned one to a woman who's going to Australia so that she can stay in touch with her family while she's gone. And I know she's going to love it so much that when she gets home, she's going to buy one. There's a few little additions that we have to digital phone service. One of them is the World Plan. You can add 40 additional lines for $15 a month. Now, that makes it $24.99 plus 15, but the lines are lines that include places like Mexico mobile phones, and that is huge. Any of you who know people that call Mexico are buying these phone cards. The phone cards are sometimes unreliable. Sometimes all the money that are loaded on them doesn't come through. But for $24.99 a month plus $15, they can call Mexico Mobile. Now, for the $24.99 a month, they can call Mexico Landline. So now when you hear people say, oh, my friends in Mexico only have cell phones, we have a plan for them. It's called the World Plan. It's available now, and it is an incredible addition to our digital phone service. Look at all the different countries that we have. This is just huge, but a lot of you don't even know what countries we can call. This is available in your store. You can snap a picture of it. In fact, here's what I encourage you to do. Take your cell phone right now, put it up to the screen, snap a picture of it. That way you can talk to people about all the different places that we can call. When I meet somebody, I ask them, do you have family in other places, or where are you from if I hear they have an accent? And I immediately pull this up to see what plan we have that's going to allow our customers to call unlimited. I keep an ATA adapter with me most of the time so I can loan it out and say, hey, call your family on me this weekend. This is such a great product, and a lot of you are missing out on it because you don't understand it. It's very easy to use, but we've just made it better. ACN just can't stop making things better. Gail Northington and I were having a conversation the other day about our back office and our YBA and how every time we go in, they change it and they're making it better. And we love that, but at the same point, you know, it's kind of hard to teach us old dogs new tricks. Sorry, Gail, didn't mean to call you an old dog, but you know what I mean. We are so proud to be with a company that just keeps doing things better and better and better, which means we get to make more and more money. The ACN Companion app. This is the coolest product ACN has come up with. What it is it's an app that goes on your iPhone or your Android. It costs $9.99 one time. Now, you have to have the digital phone service in order to get this app. So don't go selling this to people without them having digital phone service. But what it does is it allows them to connect through their cell phone to their ATA adapter, which allows them to call 80 countries, or 130 if they have the World Plan, at no additional charge. Think about this. I take my cell phone and I go to Europe. I don't have a European plan. My phone doesn't work in Europe. But if I go into my hotel where they have Wi-Fi and I connect to Wi-Fi on my phone, and then I open up my phone and I go over here to my wonderful little ACN view, which is right here, and I tap on that. I am now connected to the ACN view. Okay? Now I can go through my ATA adapter, which is at home here in Boulder City, and I can make calls to 80 countries. This is an incredible product. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and show you, if you'll bear with me, I'm going to try and show you a little bit about how to find this on your store. So what you want to do is you want to go into your store and you want to pick a state and you want to go to digital phone service. Once you get to digital phone service, you're going to scroll down and right there is the ACN companion. Hit Learn More, and you can find out all of the information about this incredible product. It's really cool, and it's really easy to add. You go into My Account right here. You go to Features and Services. You go to Add-on. You add it on, and you're up and running. This product will not only benefit the existing ATA customers, but it's also going to help your customers have another value and benefit to the products that we are already using. So for you, what I suggest you do is I suggest that you now go back to your customers who you already have and say to them, hey, I have a new product that I can help you enhance what you already have. It's a great way for you to get back into their home and to see what other products we might be able to get them to purchase from you. Again, this is the little blurb that you will see in your store, and it is such a great addition. Okay, good old-fashioned local long distance, easiest product to get somebody into. You know, you do have some people out there who just don't want VoIP. Maybe they don't have internet. Maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're older. There's 118 million customers out there that still have traditional landlines. I want you to just take a couple of minutes and write yourself a little note that says, note to self, who do I know that still has a home phone? Because this is the easiest customer to get. We're in about 92% of the marketplace, so it's not a hard customer for you to get. There's no money up front. There's no credit check. It's so easy to do. In California, you do have to do a little third-party call verification, which we'll talk about later. Let's talk a little bit about ACN Wireless. You know, ACN Wireless is a product that we all have to be so thankful for because it truly is, in my opinion, the best on the market. You know, we have our Flash plans for $47 and $67. Flash S, which is on the Sprint network, Flash Wireless, which is on the Red network. They're prepaid plans. They're unlimited talk, text, data. They have no throttling. This is important. No throttling. That means they don't slow you down. See, a lot of us are hearing all these commercials, $45 unlimited from Walmart. Well, you know what? Read the small print. $45, unlimited talk, unlimited text, and they slow you down after 2 gigs of data. We have an IBO in our team that had that plan, and she said they slowed you down so slow that it wasn't even worth checking her emails. So you really need to be looking at what some of these commercials are truly saying, because I haven't found any that are beating us yet. It is important that you understand that we can't be everything to everyone. Our Flash Wireless is truly amazing, but I'm going to tell you that it's probably best for the single person or 2-person household. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get into the family plans when you have 5 family members and one wants this phone and one wants that phone and one has this and one has that and another one has a tablet, and you can drive yourself crazy with those. So you want to kind of stay away from those. I have a question here from Willie Beatty out of Montgomery, Alabama. Willie wants to know, can we offer discounts from Flash Wirelesses to churches or other nonprofits? Also, what about commercial accounts that need 25+ cell phones? That's a great question, Willie. Unfortunately, we don't have a discount program, but what we do have is the ability for them to get 10% back if they become an IBO. So think about this. Think about your church becoming an IBO and having the whole congregation get their cell phones through the church, and then the church gets 10% back. Think about the corporation that has 25 phones being able to become an IBO and then get all their phones and get 10% back. Now, there are difficulties when you are dealing with corporations and cell phones, because there are companies that are very, very versed in doing that, and they're prepared to go in and hand out, 30 and 40 free phones to get the business. So again, sometimes when it's out of the box, it's just not worth it. We don't need that many customers. You'll drive yourself crazy if you try to become everything to everyone. So I just want you to think about that, and don't get cranky when we can't do something. At that point, you just want to reaffirm to that person that they're getting a great deal and that we can't help them, but let's look at some of the other things. You'll gain a lot of credibility if you do that with the customer. Okay. The other thing that Flash Wireless has is 2 plans that they can get. That's a $10 a month world plan that calls 60 phones, and a $25 a month world plan that will take them up to 130 destinations. Now, I know we're starting to get a little confused here because we just went over the world plan with the ATA adapter. Now we're doing the world plan with cell phones. You just got to keep them separate. One is for your ATA adapter, and then the companion allows you to use your cell phone. This is just for Flash users, okay? It's a great long-distance plan, again, for people who just want to have a cell phone, but maybe they're calling Mexico or Mexico Mobile. This is a great plan to add on to their Flash Wireless. In your store, there are some other little tidbits about what we have. We do have a hotspot available with Flash Wireless, and we have the Flash Wi-Fi app, which allows you to access Flash Wi-Fi when you're on the road. I suggest you read up on that because it's a pretty cool product. Now, I'm going to confuse you even more. The ACN View. What the heck is that? All right. The ACN View is for the non-ATA adapter user, for the non-Flash phone user. It allows people to make international calls through their cell phone, and it allows them to see each other, okay? Video messaging and like live chat. Now, I know you're going to say, wait a minute, the iPhone does that for free. Yes, it does. It's what is it called? iChat or something like that, FaceTime. The Android has a few things available that you can get, but this is just another product. It's a product you're probably not going to sell a whole lot of, but when you sell it, it will be to that special person who's just looking for something like this that they can actually use to make long-distance calls from their mobile phone if they're an AT&T customer or a Verizon customer or a Sprint customer or a T-Mobile customer or a Cricket customer, not through our Flash Wireless. Energy. I can't believe how many of you don't have an energy customer. This is huge. This is only going to happen one time. What are you waiting for? You guys need to get out there and get a few energy customers. We are the biggest footprint in the world of natural gas and electricity. So I do suggest you get certified, and I suggest you look at the states that we're in and call people and ask them, who the heck do you know in these states? And let's get you some energy customers. Business services. I think this is an area that some of us are uncomfortable with and some of us are missing out on. And I'm going to be spending a little bit of time on some of the business products here because I think that we're a little confused and we're also a little afraid, okay? ACN has some great business products. We have Digital Talk Express and a Digital Talk Express adapter. We have Business Advantage, and we have a big business program, okay? And look at all the other things that we have for businesses. I want to concentrate on Digital Talk Express right now. I want to concentrate on that because I think A lot of you are missing the boat. This is a huge product. Look at the points, up to 9 points for this. How many points do we need? 60? How many times does 9 go into 60? That's not very many customers, right? This is one of the easiest products to sell. I was talking today with Gail Northington, and I said, you know, it's interesting that I believe part of the problem that we have with Digital Talk Express is that we're all afraid of it. I have never presented Digital Talk Express to a business who hasn't bought it. And that's not because I'm that good, it's because the product is that good. I want to talk to you about the mindset you have to have when you go to present Digital Talk. First of all, this is a business. Business's lifeline is their phone. If their phone goes down, so does their business. When you go in to talk to a professional about their business phone, their lifeline, their oxygen, you have to be confident, and you have to instill confidence in them that this is the best thing they're ever going to get. I want you to understand, ACN does not make it to 21 years without knowing what they're doing, and they know what they're doing on Digital Talk Express. I'm going to go to a couple questions real quick, and then I'm going to tell you some more about it. Question from Linda Sanchez out of Minneapolis. She said, what's the best thing to show a potential Digital Talk Express customer? Should I show them a video, a brochure, or what? I have 6 potential customers, and I don't know where to start. That's a good question. First of all, what I don't want to see you guys doing is I don't want to see you spending hours and hours and hours putting together nice little books and presentations, because I promise you tomorrow, some of it will be obsolete. But what I do want you to understand is when you go to do a Digital Talk Express customer, you really do need to up your game because it's professional. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to drop out of this and I'm going to take you into your store and show you some amazing things. Actually, I'm going to take you to another file quicker than this and show you what I take with me. When I go for a Digital Talk Express customer, I take with me Digital Talk flyer that looks like this. It's a flyer that's very professional. I print it out in color. I put my store name and phone number down here. I also take with me the Digital Talk instructions. I'm going to show you how to get all of this. Very nicely done, very professional. I print it in color also. We're talking businesses. We're not talking people down the road. I take the features, print it out, sometimes in black and white, not necessarily in color. It has all the features of the phone. And lastly, I take the music on hold flyer because this is usually my ace in the hole. Shows them how to put music on hold. Now, from there, I'm going to go back to my store. I make sure that there's going to be a computer available, whether it's mine or whether it's theirs. And when I get there, after I've had a few minutes to talk to them about what a wonderful product it is, I take them into the digital phone area. I scroll down to learn more. I go up to support. You see where it says support? Click on support and drop all the way down here. Now this is where I get all of those beautiful handouts that I showed you. But here's where I take them. I take them to the tutorial. This is your ace in the hole, because when they see how they can just look at an incredible guided tour of everything that we do, you will literally win them over. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing right now, but it is just amazing. Once they see that this is available at their own pace and that if they get stuck, it's right there, you have won them over. The price becomes secondary at that point. See, what you have to understand about the customer who has a business, they have no time. they're so overwhelmed. Now, this is what you need to know. You need to understand that this system is bigger and better than anything that they can get right now. Cable can't provide it. The local phone company can't provide it. You have to go in with confidence. Look, I can get you one line for $39.99 a month, and guess what? That actually gets you 2 lines. The way it works is simple. 1 line equals 2, 2 lines equal 3, 3 lines equal 4. That's all you have to remember. The order process is simple. If they're getting a new number, it gets shipped out, it's up and running, they get a test phone call and an email to test it, and they're good to go. If they are going to be transferring a number, this is what's important. Communication. Communication on your part is 100% the most important thing you can do. They order the equipment, it gets shipped in 6 to 7 days. Now, you should be calling the customer every single day and just saying, hey, I'm just checking in. Did you get any emails or any correspondence from ACN? The first thing that's going to happen after they place their order is they're going to get a phone call from ACN confirming the order. If they don't take that phone call, everything gets put on hold. So you want to tell them, make sure you take that phone number. It usually comes from a 704 number. It can take 15 to 18 days for the port to happen, sometimes sooner, sometimes later. We try not to port on a Monday and Friday because those are busy business days, and we email people the day before the port. Now, what happens is the phones get delivered. You can plug them in and start playing with them, making outgoing calls so you can get familiar with the equipment. And then they're going to get an email that says, tomorrow we're porting, and literally one goes off, one goes on. Here's where a disaster can happen, and it happened to me. I had a gentleman who ordered. He got real busy at work. The box came. He sat it aside. He didn't look at his emails. The transfer happened. He went to use his phones. His phones were dead. We had to scramble, get through his box, open his box, charge his phones, get them turned on. We were up and running in about 20 minutes, but it was still something that shouldn't have happened. If you're going to sell an DTE Express customer, it can be 9 points. It can be a lot of points. So give it a little bit of time. Spend a little time with that customer. Stay in constant contact so you have no problems. These are the things you want to look for. Look for the email. Look for the phone calls. Very important that you make sure that if they have an alarm system, that you have them switch it to CellGuard or VoIP, because if it's on their landline, they're going to lose their alarm. Also, make sure that if they have internet with the local phone company, that you unbundle that internet from the phone line. Now, do not let the customer make this phone call without you there, because the company, the incumbent, will try to talk them into staying. Go into the system management portal, learn a little bit about the phone so you can show them how cool it is. I will tell you, every single Digital Talk Express customer of mine loves their system, loves it. It's an amazing product. Make sure that you know that you have to have good internet. It doesn't have to be real high speed, it just has to be decent. Don't get involved in chain stores because they usually have lines that go to headquarters, and that can be a little bit crazy. Make sure that they have a credit card they can use. Now, this is a sister to Digital Talk Express. It's the Digital Talk Express phone adapter. Now, what the heck is that? When you have somebody who doesn't want new equipment, or maybe their business doesn't work well with our equipment. I will give you an example. My dentist, he has 7 offices. Every office has a handset. We can't do that. We have base stations, and then we have the remote handsets. He wanted a base station in every office. Okay, great. Now we have this wonderful little adapter. This is what it looks like. As you see, you can put the phone numbers on a little tape or something here. Each phone line goes into one of these little portals. The power goes here. The internet goes here. It all connects at their phone box. It's simple, easy peasy to do. ACN will give them a stipend to pay an installer to do it. But trust me, I've installed 3 of these myself. It's a piece of cake to do. Read a little bit about it, and you'll be able to install it yourself too. It's really easy. Or if they have an IT guy, their IT guy can do it. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about local long distance for businesses. We're in 92% of the market with local long distance. If you have someone who does not want to go VoIP, there's no change in equipment. It's a simple, easy phone call, up to 10 phone lines, which, by the way, means up to 10 points. This is another product that we can offer businesses. But again, if you're going to go to a business, you need to go professional. You need to schedule an appointment. You need to go in and talk to them about the service. You need to have some names of references of some other people that are in your team that have used the product so that you can hand them a professional looking list of references. ACN Business Advantage is amazing because it's so easy. We also have a big business lead pass that you can do if you have a company that has a lot of lines or over $500 in billing, that you can just go in and find a lead pass in your back office, in your store, and put it in. Okay, merchant services, let's go there. Boy, this is a tough one. I've got some questions on merchant services that I'm going to go through first because I'm going to try to answer them for you. The first question comes from Jennifer from Fort Lauderdale. She says, I have a potential merchant service customer in Miami. They need to buy several terminals. They're getting quotes from other providers that will give them the terminals for a very modest fee. Does Innovia have discounted terminals? You know what my answer is? I don't know. I don't need to know. That's Innovia's job. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Please don't get caught up in the details of merchant services. Merchant service is complicated. It's cutthroat. It's competitive. And truly, you don't have time to learn everything there is to learn about it. And Innovia doesn't expect that you will. We have another question from Michelle in San Diego. She says, merchant services seems really complicated. Yes, it is, Michelle. I'm not really sure where to start. I need to understand it better before I can go after some business owners. Do you have any suggestions? I do. Innovia is an incredible company made up with people who understand this business better than you and I will ever understand it. Innovia does everything for us. All we need to do is say, do you accept credit cards? Innovia does the rest. Please don't get into trying to learn and understand it because you never will, and you'll never sell it because you aren't going to have the confidence in it. Now, we have a very simplistic way of doing it. Innovia can just about handle anything. They offer all types of payment methods, whether it's credit card, debit card, gift cards, electronic checks, e-commerce. They do terminals. They do swipes on your phone. They can pretty much handle anything. Innovia has a very simple sign-up process in your store for merchants with less than $3,000 or for merchants who are just starting, and all the rates are right there. Then they have a more sophisticated group of people that will analyze their bills of the consumer or the person who has the terminal, and then they'll get back to them and discuss what they're doing. 99% of the time, Innovia saves people money. But we still have a lot of you who are not landing these accounts, and we know why. It's the relationship. It's also the fear of the merchant making a change. So, it's important, if you are going to submit someone to Innovia, that you get a commitment from that person up front. I'm clear as bell on this. I say to them, look, based on our relationship, based on the fact that I do business here all the time, if Innovia can save you money, will you be my customer? Can I earn your business? Because what usually happens is that the merchant won't take the call from Innovia because they don't know who Innovia is because you didn't say the words Innovia enough with the customer. Or the customer gets the quote from Innovia, takes it back to their merchant service company and says, hey, can you beat this? And they do it because it's easier. They don't have to get new equipment. They don't have to learn anything new. They don't have to change anything. And they're comfortable with the person who's been ripping them off for the past year, 2 years, 5 years. You need to get a commitment up front from that person, and you need to stay on top of this in your YBA to see where it is in the process. you should have the customer repeat the words Innovia to you. Now, who's going to call you? Innovia is going to call me. Great. Because when they get that call, they get 100 of these calls a day. They get people knocking down their door. They're not going to take it if they don't remember the name. Okay. Premium technical support is probably something a lot of you are missing the boat on. I am one of those people. I've been paying for it for a while, but I hadn't used it yesterday, knowing I was going to do this webinar today. My computer froze and wouldn't allow me to do screen sharing. I called Premium Technical Support. What a pleasant experience. Literally, I went into the portal. I went into and scheduled, I need an appointment right away. I got an email within 4 minutes that said, we will call you within 1 hour. They called me in 10 minutes. They sat me in front of my computer. They went through, they cleaned it out, they did all their magic. But the guy was also nice enough to stay on while I did a complete test webinar to make sure that it worked. This is a great upsell. When you are selling someone DTE, you need to ask them, who takes care of your computers? And usually they'll say, oh, we have a guy. Oh, really? So have you had to have him come out? Yeah, he was here for 5 hours last week. Well, I'm sure that costs a lot of money. Let me show you what we have. And show them the pricing. Our pricing is so competitive. And when you say 24/7 availability and US based, you've got them. You've got them right there. Okay. I want to close out with a few things, and I'm going to take some questions. We know it's about favor, help, and try. We know that, and you have to use that. But we've also added this wonderful charity. And in your back office, there are scripts under customer acquisition that you can use. I love this. I'm working with a company that offers services that most people use every day, like your home phone, your mobile phone, your gas, electric. However, when you use one of these services, you're helping support a charity that focuses on feeding children in need. Simply, when you become my customer, a child gets fed every time you pay as long as you remain a customer. In addition to that, if I can acquire a certain amount of customers this month, we can also provide an additional 100 meals to hungry children. I'm only a couple customers away from my goal. Can I offer you this service? You know, these scripts are amazing. These scripts work. And let's talk about the Will Play for Food Foundation and what you can do to take great advantage of it. In your YBA, you have to have your YBA, you have the ability to print out certificates. I want to show you what we've done. We've taken, there you go, see? And we have printed out certificates 11 by 20 or 14 by 20, and we framed them. Went to the dollar store, we paid $2 for the frame. And we took them and started handing them out to our customers. This is Walter. Walter is a CPA. He was tickled pink when I showed up with this certificate. I showed up with a cup of coffee and a donut for him. I showed up with a hammer and a nail to put it on his wall and his certificate. He was so excited. I put it right in his lobby, and now when people come in, they can see the name ACN. These customers look how excited they are. It's so funny. It was like I was giving away gold that day. This is a dentist, a 22-year police sergeant who owns an insurance company, a high-end realtor, and a doctor. They were so excited when I gave them their certificates. Let me tell you, post this stuff on Facebook, show your friends and family. This is a great way to make customers feel good. Also, in your YBA, we have incredible letters, notes, things you can send your customer. It's important when you are getting customers that you let them know you appreciate them, that you let them know they're special to you, that you let them know that you are so thankful that they've become your customer. Don't just get the customer and leave them high and dry. Send them a note every now and then. Stick a movie ticket in it, or I stick a scoop of ice cream. We have a little ice cream parlor here that will sell me a little coupon for a scoop of ice cream. Something that makes them feel good and lets them know you remember. It also gives you the opportunity to let them know what you have that's new. ACM has done some amazing things. The Strive for 5, the Get 10 Power Customers and make yours free. This just doesn't happen in most companies. Think about this, Strive for 5. If you got 5 cell phone customers, that's 15 points. 5 local long distance, 15 more points. 5 ATA or digital phone for business could be anywhere from 15 to 45 points. And guess what? Yours is free. You know, this is all about ACM putting money into your pocket. Think about what that's going to do to help you grow your business. When you can say, I get my cell phone free, I get my home phone free, I get my digital phone free at my office, think about what that could do for you. Some things you guys need to do is you need to get into your back office and do the webinars, but don't try to do them right now. Don't become analysis by paralysis. You have a team to grow. You need to be out recruiting. You need to be doing that part of your business and getting your customer getters. Don't get stuck on trying to learn everything. If you have a potential customer, do the webinar that day before you go see them. Use the product snapshots in your back office. I don't think a lot of you know what these are. I'm going to drop down and show you these because they are amazing. They are in your back office, and this is what they look like. They're snapshots of, excuse me, it's going to take me a minute for it to load. Of course, it's not moving. They're snapshots of product by category. And this is not loading, so I'm just going to tell you to go look at the product snapshots. They show you a complete analysis of every single product that we have. I'm sorry, it's not going to load, so I'm not going to take the time to show you. But this is such an incredible product that will help you guys so much to learn about what we have. There you go. Look at this. Look at how cool that is. It tells you all about it. It gives you a quick tutorial in 5 minutes. So they have on every single product that we have, by residential, by business. This has more information than you ever could use. You know, when we were younger, we had a thing called Cliff Notes. You guys that are old like me understand what Cliff Notes were. And that was like we didn't have to read a book. We could just go read the Cliff Notes. Well, those are the Cliff Notes. You want to make sure that you go into your store and you shop online. Get online and shop. Pretend like you're the customer. That is the best way for you to learn. You need to get out there. You need to build your 60 points because that's going to give you your billing revenue, and it's going to grow your business, grow your residual, which is going to make everybody a lot of money and really happy. I had a question that was sent to me about Dish. This came from, I don't know who it came from, but it said, I want to sell as many Dish customers as I can in the month of April because I want my $50 per customer. Do you have any tips on how I can get it done? Absolutely, absolutely. Go find anyone who has cable, and once you have found people with cable, tell them you can save them a ton of money, and you will then grow your residual. Cable is the best way to go. If you can get the cable customer, you will absolutely get them to Dish because we're so much cheaper. Rob and Gail have a question. Here's my question. Can you move to Woodland Hills and take care of all the customer acquisition issues? No, sorry, can't do it. Anybody else have any questions while we're at it? I am more than happy to answer. Thanks, Jerry. I know that you guys have been great in putting these together for all of our team. We did record this so that all of you will be able to see it and show it to your teams, and I will be getting it over to Rob. This is, do you know how to refer a friend for Dish Network? I don't know what you mean by refer a friend. I'm going to put them on the phone, and I am going to call my Dish number, which, by the way, that number has changed, so make sure you check it out, and make sure that you be on the phone with that customer so you can write down all the confirmation numbers and everything like that. Where do we get the scripts? New to the company. Okay, in your back office, all of that is available under training. You can do refer a friend for DirecTV and get $10 a month. Yeah, you can, but that's not through ACN, and that's not going to give you residual income for the rest of your life. It's only going to give you residual income, $10 off a month. So that's something that we don't do. We don't do the refer a friend program. So what you should do is go onto your back office, Susan, and do the training on satellite television, and you'll learn a little bit about how this works. You bring up a good point. Sometimes you'll see things on TV and you'll get a little discouraged because you'll think, hey, that's taking customers away from me. No, it isn't. It's all your attitude. It's all about what you want to have happen for you. With that, any more questions? Type them in quickly. We're going to get this thing off. I'm running way late. I promised everybody I'd keep it to 45 minutes, and I'm 5 minutes over. So where do I find a rich girlfriend to support me? Hey, Steve Leanroad, I love that question. Stick around in ACN, keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to be the rich guy, and you're going to have the girls pounding down the door. With that, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. Have a great Sunday. It's been my pleasure doing this webinar. See you all real soon. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.